Welcome to another podcast. This episode, we're going to be taking a look at a concept called equity. It's one of the more important concepts when it comes to buying a home or purchasing anything where a loan's involved. Equity is defined loosely as the difference in the current worth of an object, say a home, so it's the current value, current appraised value of your home, minus the amount owed. So the amount still owed, this would be the remaining balance on the loan. So that's basically the definition of equity. And like I said, that's sort of a loose definition, so let's make it a little bit more concrete by doing an example here. One thing I do want to say, though, is it is possible to have negative equity. Negative equity would be where your home's worth less than what you still owe. Obviously, that would be really bad. There is a phrase for this, so if someone tells you that you're upside down on a loan, they're talking about you having negative equity. The reason that equity is so important is equity can be used for something like a home purchase as sort of a down payment or a way to pay quickly for the next home that you would be looking at. And so building equity quickly is sort of a function of the size of the loan as well as the interest rate and especially the term of the loan. The longer the term of the loan, the slower it is to build equity because you're paying, remember, think about the loan amortization schedule we looked at before, you're paying mostly interest on those first couple of payments, so you're not actually lowering the amount that you owe. If you move quickly. And so we're going to look at what is the equity for this particular example. What I need to do is figure out sort of all the pieces that are involved here. I do have a down payment, so let's talk about that first. The down payment is 20% of a home value of $350,000. So the down payment is $70,000. And that makes the principal size of the loan the $350,000 minus the down payment, or a total of $280,000. So that is the amount of the loan that you would actually be paying off. So you're paying off $280,000 that you're borrowing $280,000. Okay, to calculate the monthly payment on the mortgage, it would be, we're going to use the finance command for this. And so we would have a principal value of $280,000, a future value of 0 because we're amortizing the loan or paying it off. We're going to solve for the payment. The interest rate in the problem is 3.375%, and this is monthly. For the term is 30 years. So this would be 30 years, 12 payments a year, 360 total payments. So if we calculate that amount, then we'll get the following. So a monthly payment of $1,237.87. Okay, now's the new stuff. I want to move 4 years into the purchase. So what I want to figure out is what is the balance remaining after 4 years. So the balance remaining after 4 years, the way that you would find this is the finance command again, where you've sunk $280,000 into it, or no, the loan, excuse me, is for $280,000, and you've sunk a certain amount of money into it, so there's sort of this unknown value left. If you made all 360 payments, the loan value would be 0. But here we're making less than the 360 payments, so I still owe some amount, and the amount owed is the future value. Remember, this is the future value of the loan. That's the balance remaining. So it works kind of like an annuity in reverse. We would be paying the monthly payment that we just calculated. So I'm paying $1,237.87 a month, and I have my interest rate And the number of payments here, this is probably the most important part of this formula. The number of payments is 48. Because I'm leaving after 48 months or 4 years, and since the payments are occurring monthly, this is the number of payments. So the number of payments here is 48 payments. And so if we calculate this, once again in the finance command, then we'll get the following. So 280,000 unknown future value with a payment size of 1237.87 with a interest per month given by that for 48 months. So this suggests that the balance remaining would be $256,889.83. So the balance remaining after 4 years would be $256,889.83. Okay? Going a little bit further with that, then we now are in a position to calculate the equity, because in this problem we know the current worth of the home is the appraised value, and the appraised value is $352,000. So $352,500 is the current worth, and the amount we still owe we just calculated. So if you subtract those two numbers, the equity here is $95,610.17. Now I want to explain kind of what happens to that money, because you don't get all of that money. Okay, that's sort of a buffer. This money's a buffer. What happens is you sell your home, and if they pay you $352,500, you immediately pay off the $256,889.83 that's left, which would leave you with the equity. However, there's things like closing costs and paying the realtor and down payments on the next home and all these other things that eat away at that money. And so the equity, while really good, it's not that you have $95,000 in pocket, okay? I don't want you to think that. It's just a significant amount of money that you could put toward the next house that you would be buying wherever it is you go. This also talks about why it's a big deal to be upside down on a loan, because not only would you be paying off all the money left, but you would still owe some money on that home and then not have anything to put toward a new home. So it's a really bad thing to have negative equity or to be upside down on your loan. In fact, a lot of lenders won't even lend to you for the new home if you are upside down on the previous loan, especially with cars. Car dealerships are notorious for turning people away that have negative equity. And that can happen if you have really bad insurance, you get into a wreck really early on, or maybe you don't have insurance at all, which is illegal, but maybe you don't have insurance and it wrecks that way. Or maybe the value of the car just falls off a cliff and you're not making payments fast enough to keep up. That can happen as well. So all of those are being upside down on a loan, and that would be really bad. But this is just an example of how to calculate both the equity and the balance remaining after 4 years, where the balance remaining is essentially the future value of the loan with the payments that you're using for however long of a period of time you're interested in. All right. Thank you for watching.